the night that Chris told me about his grandmother and requested a story was a pretty incredible night already, because it was winter solstice, and I have a long-standing tradition of having a gathering at my house, and I didn't want to break through tradition, so I invited a small circle of people to go to the UW Bothell campus with masks on and watch 15,000 crows roost. And we had candles and we had bells, and there were like private prayers sent to what we want to let go of for the year. And then we, had a wide circle at the end, and we said what we needed to say, and then we all went back to our individual cars and drove individually home, and my heart was just bursting, and I looked at my phone, and there was, this message from Chris asking for a story for his grandmother, and I wrote it that night, and that's what I'm going to share with you now. And feel free to interrupt, Chris, if the sound goes wonky. Some say we are made of light. Is it the light of the sun? Is it the light of the cosmos? Or is it the light of love itself? This story is about a soul that came to this land, and it is also a blessing for her as she makes her way in peace and expansion. There once was a soul that came here through the same vessel that we all humans hold. We humans hold that of the womb, the blessed sanctuary through which we all begin our journeys. A sweet soul landed in the body of a tiny baby girl, and there it nestled in and turned into a lantern, which shone through her skin when she smiled, burst bright when she laughed, and reflected on the eyes of all who were blessed to see it. She grew, and she experienced the many hardships and joys which is the way of living. But no matter how complicated life became, that lantern still shone steady in her heart. As she went through the world, her eyes reflected the moon of a summer night. Her ears tickled with the tinkling of the brooks on the hills. She smelled wisteria, and her arms shivered when the cool breeze came to tell her of the change of the seasons. And all these things she recognized as the language of love, the many expressions of the same light she held in her lantern. She too became a vessel, and through her came many souls, like a river of light into the world. Her life was long, and eventually, it was her time. But her light did not go out. The lantern little door opened, and her soul rose, and it resonated, it resolved into another field. It resonated with a song we mortal creatures cannot hear. Some say there is a tunnel. Some say that those we miss come to help us on our way. But for her journey began with 1,000,000 stars and an orchestra of living peace. This music flowed through her, and every pattern she had engaged in her life resonated with the song vibrated, unfolded, smoothed out. Messages were sent to her people, and messages were received from those who held her dear. They let go, and she sighed in trust of the ever resilient motion of moving forward. She expanded and drifted with the motion of the falling snow. She tumbled down the hills with the tinkling of the brook, and she rose in the sky with the song of the birds, and she loved as she had never loved before. The souls that she missed did come to her, and she was contained in the presence of their love. And it was then that she knew where she needed to go. She knew because what called her was so familiar, so known, so remembered, so free. A portal appeared, and the light that flooded through her body, and she knew it was the same. It was the same as that light she'd held in her heart. And she felt more herself than she'd ever felt before. And yet at the same time, she felt more part of everything else, more than she thought could be. And this stretching and bridging and containing and flowing and release was love itself. All this, she still knew that whatever was beyond that portal was unfathomably large, its impact unknowable. Yet, that's where she was headed. She didn't look back. She moved forward. She embraced and she received. And with that, she merged with the all in expansion and returning to the home of homes. This story's not over. It's never over. For us, it's like the geese getting smaller and smaller on the horizon, but for her, she's still there, making her way from this realm to another weak unknown. Some say that when souls are able to cross over, they can choose to come back as benevolent ancestors that have no agenda other than to see us flourish in love, some say. So here we are, standing together at the cliff's edge, looking out into the skies, sending our blessings. Godspeed, sister, on the currents of our love for you, mother. Easy passage, grandmother. Blessed be.